Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter Soil of class 7th NCERT book. So before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed. We have discussed about the soil, and then I told you about the properties of soil, means what all things are present in the soil, and then we have discussed about what is the importance of the soil. And then in the importance we saw that this soil is really very important for each and every purpose, like for all the animals and the plants and the human beings, those who are living on this earth. Everybody is related with the soil with one or the another ways. So the various importance which a soil is having in the life of any organism is that this is important for the growth of the plants. Then it is the shelter for each and every animals, those who are living in the in these soil by in the burrows or in the holes, for example ants and the rodents which are living here in the soil. And then it is also important as it is going to give us food, it is going to give us the oxygen, and also it is providing it is also helpful in regulating the water cycle. And also at the last we discussed about the layers of soil which are present. Now continuing with the same, today's video will also be about the layers of soil, and it will be about the presence of the various components in each of these layers, and how is this soil being formed, and after weathering of rocks, how is the soil getting in the form of these horizons. So we begin with our video with the topic that the layers of what are the layers of the soil which is present in it. So we will discuss about various horizons of the soil. Now if I tell about the various, as you could see here in the diagram, that there are various layers of the topsoil, the subsoil and the bedrock is present. Means there are various horizons and there are various levels of the layers of the soil in which it is going to be formed in the form of the various sediments are there, various types of minerals are there, and each and every layer is different from another layer. So it consists of various horizons, that is A horizon, B horizon and C horizon, and then after that it is also having the bedrocks at the last. Now the first horizon, that is the topsoil, is also this is visible to us, this layer is visible to us. Now it contains large amount of humus, and also it contains the minerals in it, which because of which it becomes dark in color. Next thing is that the soil is rich in the nutrients because of the presence of humus. Now the topsoil also has a very soft texture. Each and every soil is different from each other, and it is always retaining these textures because of the water which is present here, and the various types of the water retention is also there. Means it is going to contain water in the layers, because of which each and every soil particle is away from each other. Now next is that the topsoil, which is topsoil is home to many of the living organisms like insects, the worms, beetles and the rodents and the moles. So these small insects and the animals, they are going to live inside the earth's surface, because of which it becomes a shelter for these small organisms. Now with this explanation, I think it is very clear that the very first layer of the soil is known as topsoil, and it contains the fertile it is because of which the fertility of the soil is maintained. So it is maintained because of a product called humus, which is made from the dead and decaying animal and the plant remains. Now we go into the next slide, that is telling us about the B horizon, and this is known as the middle layer. That is the middle layer. Means this humus does not contains this layer does not contains much humus. Means it is not having the minerals, it is not having the remains of dead and decaying plants and animals. Now next thing is that then what all things are present in this layer of the soil, which is known as the middle layer. Okay, now this is light in color, it has a small means it is little bit hard, it contains a hard texture. Means when the quantity of this humus is going down in these layers, then it is having it acquires a hard texture, means it is somewhat harder in its nature. Then what happens, the third layer is present, the horizon C, means then the next layer comes, that is known as the third layer or horizon C, which you could see here, which is present as horizon C. Now next is this horizon C or the third layer also contains rocks, and these rocks are partially weathered, means they are formed because of the partial weathering process. Okay, so the small layers which is present on this earth's surface, which is composed of many types of layers, various types of arrangements. Now this third layer also contains some cracks, this also contains some rocks, it also has a hard texture. As the middle layer is not having humus, it means now the third layer is not completely, it is not having the humus at all, because of which this layer becomes harder, and it also contains it also has a particle size which will be more than that of those which were present in the first and the second layer. And the last layer of the soil is known as the bedrock. This is the last layer which contains only the rocks, and it is also and it is not weathered or exposed by any wind or water, means this layer is mainly consisting of the rocks, and they are not weathered, means they are the complete rocks which are present at the base, as you could see here in the diagram, that these are the bedrocks which contains only the rock pieces which is present at the last, and because of which it also is saturated with the groundwater. Fine. Now these bedrocks cannot be dug with the help of a spade, so it's very hard in its texture. Now we saw that the various layers of the soil in the earth's crust is having different textures, different types of particles are present in it. Now it contains various types of the small particles, even some in the first layer it was containing humus, and then when we go on to the increasing in the depth, means when we go deeply into the soil, we saw that the particles are the size of the particles started increasing with the depth increase, with the increase in the depth. Now what happens, at the last we saw that these bedrocks are present. Now this bedrock also contains water, and it is saturated with the water. Sometimes these trees which are grown on the top soil, it reaches till the subsoil, and it reaches till B horizon. As you could see here, the roots are present in these B horizons also. Okay, so this is how the layers of the soil is present in the earth's surface, and this is how the various horizons are placed and the layers are being made on the earth's surface, inside the earth's surface. Okay, which constitutes the making of the soil, means soil is going to be formed in the same manner. Now based upon the various particles which are present in the soil could be of different types. Now and this is very much easier, means we could see the soil profile. This all points which we discussed till now was about the soil profile, means it is about the arrangement of the vertical section of the various layers of the soil. Now next thing is that whenever we are at the site of the construction, or where the building is being constructed, somewhere when the foundation is being laid of any house, then we can see that the various types of means the various layers of the soil could be easily visible. Now if you want to see these layers very easily, then you could also visit such sites where you could see the various layers of the soil which is being present. Okay, now next, based upon the particles, based upon the size of the particles, based upon the type of the particles which are present in these layers, the color, the texture and the size of the particle also constitutes the types of soil. Now there are various types of soil which I'll discuss in this particular slide. Now next is these types of soil is of mainly of three types: clay soil, loamy soil and sandy soil. Now how is this name clay, loamy and sandy has come? So for that we should know about what is the meaning of this word clay, loam and sand, and this silt also is present in the constituent of each and every soil particle, okay, in the each and every type of soil. So we go on to the first type of soil, that is the sandy soil. As the name suggests, this sandy soil has a big particles that have large spaces in between. Now where is the sand obtained? Where is the sand found? This sand is found mainly in the place where there is very much dryness is present. Means if we go to a place like desert, we could see that the sand is present all over. So the soil actually is in the form of sand. Fine. Now, if you remember about weathering of rocks, when I was teaching, then I told you that in the weathering of rocks, the various types of particles are being they are being in the form of the powdered form, but the nature of the particle is being decided by the parent, the type of the parent rock. Now, what is this parent rock? If you remember, that parent rock was a rock where from where the soil was being formed. Okay. Fine. Now if this soil is being formed, this is because this soil is going to be because of its parent rock. Means whenever the silica is present in large amount, means when the rock contains silica in it, when it contains silica, okay, silica is a type of an element which is it is obtained naturally. So if it contains silica in the rocks, then we can see that the soil which will be formed after the weathering of that silica parent rock, that will be the sandy soil. Now this sandy soil can easily be recognized as you would have seen the type of the sand which is present at the river bank. It could be present at the seaside. So these sand particles are a bit larger, means they are a bit bigger. So these are the bigger particles. So sandy soil has the bigger particle and have large space in between. So you could feel each and every particle in your hand if you want to feel like. Okay. So I'll just show you the picture of the sandy soil, then it becomes very clear. I think the feeling of that sand part is very much important, that if you want to recognize the types of soil, it is particularly based on the size of the particle. Okay. So how does the soil look like is dependent upon the size of the particle which is present in it. So a sandy soil contains bigger particles. Fine. So this is the diagram for the sandy soil, that I told you that whenever the soil is in the form of sand, it has a bigger particle. So it has large spaces in between them. Fine. So this is because of the particles which are present in the soil, and it becomes very easy to recognize these types of this type of soil which is known as the sandy soil. Now the space between the particles, see here you could see that each and every particle is it is very much visible to you all, and it is the sand particle. Okay. So this sand particles are always filled with the air because it contains space. So that space will be always filled with the help of air. So it is properly aerated. So these soils are well aerated. So the word here, the word well aerated soil, means it is containing the large amount of oxygen. It contains large amount of air in between the particles. Now how will you prove that air is present in the particles and it also contains water in between? So how do you see that water is also present in the soil? So we'll just deal with the activities in the further slides. And first I'll just explain that the types of soil, then I go on to the activities where you will see that what kind of means what all things are present in between these soil particles. So we know that air is present in between the soil particles because this air is responsible. This air is only required by the plants. It absorbs air from the plants, it absorbs carbon dioxide, it absorbs water from the in between the particles which are present. Okay. So this is the reason because of which the sandy soil is well aerated soil, means it contains air in between the particles, and this is the only reason because of which you can feel each and every particle of this soil. Fine. Now next we go on to the next point, that is because of the large spaces, water can easily penetrate through the particles of these sands, means the water can also move inside in between the particles of this sandy soil. Okay. So it cannot hold water. So this is this could be one of the feature of this sandy soil, that is it cannot hold water. Now if you have to find out that the quality of soil which is present in that particular area. You'll just go on to these points and then you will be able to understand that what kind of soil is present. Now if sandy soil is there, it means it is having a large space and it is well aerated, as it contains the amount of air in it in between the particles. Then also it contains water, as it has larger spaces, but it cannot hold water. Now what is this holding of water in the soil? I'll just discuss in the later ones. Okay, next is next is the sandy soil. This sandy soil are light aerated and dry in its nature, means they are dry in its nature. As you could see, if you remember that sandy soil which is present in the bank of the rivers and the sea, and you would easily feel that these soil are dry in its nature. And if you think of desert also, then you will be able to understand that yes, it is, of course it is very dry in its nature. So this dryness is because of the air which is present in the soil. Okay, next, sandy soil lack much nutrient, as it doesn't, that is why it do not support diverse growth of plants. So this is a drawback of this sandy soil, because of which it is not utilized for the agriculture purpose. Okay, for the agricultural purpose, because it cannot grow the diverse types of plants in it. Fine. Now this sandy soil, why it cannot be utilized for the agricultural purpose? This cannot be utilized for the agricultural purpose because this sandy soil is not having the nutrients in it. Now, if the soil is lacking, lacking these nutrients, then what happens? This cannot support the it cannot support the diverse life forms, because each and every plant requires nutrients for its growth. And this sandy soil is not as much, it is not having such amount of humus in it, it is not having the minerals in it. That is why it is not fit for the agricultural purpose. Now we move on to the next type of soil, that is this clay soil. Okay, so this clay soil is it is very easy to identify this clay soil, because it contains the fine particles with the less space in between them. Means the particles are always clinged together, means they are always very close to each other, means they are attached very close to each other. So if you find that this fine sand, this fine particles of the soil, they are attached with each other, then the type of the soil becomes the clay soil. Okay, as you would see that when you whenever the when you go to the bank of if you go onto the river and side of the river, means when you are visiting the bank of a river, then you would see that there is a very fine particles of soil which is lying over the bank of the river, in which it is very soft. If you are just walking on that particular type of soil, you will feel that it is very soft. Okay, your feet might go inside that soil, and you feel that you're just walking on a very soft thing. So such soil which contains this soft texture, this is known as the clay soil. Why it is having a soft texture, fine texture? Because the particles are very, very small. These are the tiny ones. So the smaller particles will contain they are not very well aerated, as the particles are already joined from each other. As you could see here, this is the diagram for the clay soil. Each and every particles are very joined to each other. Now when it is joined, it has very less space for water and very less space for the air to be absorbed in it. Okay, now since there is not very much space in between these particles of the clay soil, and they are not well aerated like sandy soil, so these tiny gaps between the particles, they allow absorption of water in the clay soil. Fine. Now what happens on this clay soil? This clay soil can hold water for a longer time, because the particles are very close to each other, and if you add water on it, what happens? It remains there for a longer time. Okay, so it remains in the clay soil. So it is also having a good water holding capacity, means it could hold water for a long time. So if these are able to hold water, it is also suitable for growing various types of crops. Like one of the crop I will tell you that it is rice crop, or it is also known as paddy, which is grown in this which grows very in a very good amount in this clay soil. Why? Because we require to hold water for a longer time when we plant the rice seedlings. So wherever these rice plants are growing, they require a lots of water in it. That is why that is why clay soil is the best one, because it can hold water for a longer time. So this picture is showing you the type of the soil, which is the clay soil, and this is very much important. Means, how do you recognize this clay soil? You could recognize that these contain very fine particles. Now whenever the fine particles are present, they will be cling together, means they will be attached together, because they contain very less space in between them for the water and the air to go inside, and because of which the water is being present on the surface of the soil, and it becomes good for the rice crops to be grown there. Okay, so this is in this type of soil agriculture, some type of plants could be grown, and this is also useful in the agricultural point of view. It is useful to some extent, not at very extent, but it is responsible for the growth of various types of rice varieties, okay, paddy varieties. Now we go on to the next type of soil, that is the loamy soil. Now what is this loamy soil? As this picture is showing, and from seeing this picture, you will be able to recognize that what is the difference between this sandy soil, clay soil, and then now what is different in this loamy soil. So as you could see here, that the picture itself is telling you about the particles, the type of particles, the color of the particles, and the texture of the particles of the loamy soil. Okay, so it is also known as loam. Fine. Now this loamy soil contains a large amount of particles as well as small amount of particles in them. Means both the type of particles are present. Small particles are also present, and large particles or bigger particles are also present. Now when both the types of particles are present, that is why it is a combination of sandy, clay, and the silty soil. Now what is the silty soil? In the next slide I'll just tell you about what is the silt. Silt is also a very fine type of structure which is present in the fine type of material which is present in the soil. As you could see in the clay soil, you would see that some shiny particles are present. So those shiny particles, they are of the silt. Okay, now this clay and sand as present, means clay soil was having very small particles and sandy soil was having a large particle, so it is a combination of both. So it means there will be smaller particles also in the loamy soil, and a larger particles will also be present in this loamy soil. Now this is a very it means that it is a very good quality of soil. Fine. Now this also contains humus. How will you know that this soil contains humus? This soil contains humus because this black color is showing. This black brown color is going to show you, the texture is showing you that it contains humus in it. Okay, now next this humus is very much important for the soil, as I talked about it in the few slides back, that it is very much important for water holding. It is very much important for the moisture content which is being present in the soil, and as well as it is very much important for the nutrients to be added up in the soil. So these nutrients are added up just because of the humus which is present. Okay, now next thing is that it can hold water in the appropriate amount, and therefore it is very much important for the growth of the plants. Okay, so it is very much important for the growth of the plants, because it can hold an optimum level of water. Why it could hold a good level of water, or not very much water, not very less water? Why it is going to hold a good quality of water, good amount of water? It is happening because it contains both the types of particles, small particles also and the large particles also. So these small particles which are present in this loamy soil will allow the water to be holded there, and then if once it is being held there, it is always once it is always present there, means it is going to be held there. Now it is going to allow the particles to absorb the water, means this larger particles will absorb some amount of water. Since this is rich in humus, so humus is going to absorb the water which is present in the soil, which is held between the particles of the soil. Now once they can hold water in an appropriate amount, appropriate means it is a correct quantity of water which is being present. Okay, now therefore it supports the growth of the plants. So this growth of the plants is always possible when the good quality of manure is added, and this manure is added because of the presence of humus in the soil, and it contains air, it contains water, and it contains the bigger and the smaller particles. So I think all these properties, means all these properties which I talked just now, that it has humus in it, it has well aerated, it could hold water moisture also, it is having the good quantity of the types of particles are also present. So it means it is the best soil for the growth of the plants, because plants require nutrients, plants require air, plants require water, and all these three things are possible if we are using this loamy soil. So this is the best soil for the agricultural purpose, and that is why it is known as agricultural soil, because of its fertility and appropriate texture. Okay, so it is having a very good quality, and which is going to be utilized for the agricultural purpose. So this is the diagram for the loamy soil, and now you could recognize that by seeing this diagram only you could see that it contains the humus part because it is black in color, it contains the particles because it is the combination of sandy and the clay soil, then it also is responsible for the agricultural purpose, and that is why, because of its fertility and appropriate texture, it is known as agricultural soil. So it means it is the best soil for agricultural purpose. Okay, so next we go to the last type of soil, that is the silt soil. Okay, or it is known as silty soil. Now what is this silt known as? So silt is a particle which is smaller than those of the sandy and but larger than those of the clay soil. Okay, now this silt is present in the soil, and because of which what happens, you could see that it is present in between. This particle ranges between the clay as well as the sandy soil. Okay, so this middle picture which is drawn here, you could see this particle is having it is bigger than those of the clay soil but smaller than those of the sandy soil. Okay, so this silt is also present. Now if silt is being added, it means it is adding the quality to the soil. So when the silt soil can hold water to some extent because it is of fine quality, but this silty soil is not very much seen in very common, because the silt particles are already mixed in the clay, sandy and loamy soil. Okay, so this is not found everywhere, but it is generally found at the river banks and the lakes. So these are rich in nutrients, has a high fertility rate, and it is suitable for agriculture. Now next, it is often mixed with the soil to improve the soil fertility. Yes, as I told you that this is the best soil because it contains silt also. It is a combination of all these three soil. But silty soil is not very much common. It occurs at the bank of the river, as in this diagram, this explanation is telling you. Okay, so the silt is being added in the clay soil, loamy soil or sandy soil to make them rich in its fertility. Okay, because its particles are neither very big nor very small, so it can hold good amount of water, it could hold the air also, and it could be utilized to some extent for the agricultural purpose. So these were the types of soil which are present in the surrounding when we go from place to place, means when we are visiting from place to place. So we will find that there are different textures of soil which are present. Somewhere the particles are larger, like desert region, then the soil type will become sandy soil. If we visit a lakeside area, then we find this silty soil is present at the bank of the rivers. And when we move on to the agricultural land, we will see that the loamy soil is present in that particular area because it is the best soil for the agricultural purpose. Now why it is good for agricultural purpose, I just now explained that it is important. It is having the combination, means it is having the larger particles as well as the smaller particles, because of which it is very much good for the agricultural needs, and it is responsible for the growth of the various types of plants. Okay, and the last type of soil which we discussed was the silty soil, which was generally found at the bank of the rivers. So in today's video we saw that soil consists of various horizons, and it is also arranged in the form of the vertical section, that one layer is arranged just above the another layer, and which becomes soil profile, means which constitute to become a soil profile. So what is a soil profile? It is the vertical arrangement of the soil layers, of the different layers of soil in the earth. Okay, so this was about the soil profile, and then based upon this soil profile, soil could be of different types. So the different types, in the different types of soil, we discussed about the clayey soil, the loamy soil, the sandy soil, and the silty soil. And these three soil are very common, and in which the loamy soil is the best one. Okay, so this is the combination of all the pictures, means this picture is showing you the types of soil all together. So I think in today's video we discussed enough about the properties, the vertical section of the soil. Now it was just about the types of soil which is important, and why this is very much important. It is very much important because it is utilized for the growth of the various types of plants, or we could rather say that the soil type decides the type of crops to be grown in the field. Okay, now if clay soil is present, it is good for the rice crops. Okay, it is good for the paddy. Next, if sandy soil is present, it is good for the growth of the plants which requires less water. Okay, desert plants which are present in the desert areas, then it is responsible for the growth of such plants which require very less amount of water. Next, if we think about the good agricultural property soil, means if we think about the loamy soil, this is responsible for the growth of the very good amount of the crops to be grown there. Any type of crop could be grown in this loamy soil. And in the silty soil is responsible for the growth of such plants which is grown in the river bank, at the river bank, and which require to hold less amount of water, or sometimes it could hold large amount of water also, because it contains the various types of particles in between, which is ranging from the sandy and the clay soil. Okay, so it is somewhere in between. So this was all about the types of soil and the crops which are being grown in these types of soil. Okay, now we'll discuss about and why these crops could be grown here. It is because of the various properties of soil. Now in the next topic we'll discuss about the properties of soil in the next class, hopefully. So we'll discuss about the properties of soil, and today we have discussed about the types of soil in detail. Okay, so that's all for today's video, children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topics to be explained.